Aquarius, I'm Michele B, and I created a little spread for you looking at what to embrace and what to leave behind for the next little bit. And then I'm going to look at your internal landscape, the struggle that you're going through, and some guidance going forward. Mostly I like to focus on some tangible things, including love and money. But you can take these messages however they resonate with you, if they do resonate with you. And if they don't resonate with you, make sure and check out your placements for your moon, your rising, your Venus and Mars. And also you can check out your Aquarius placements with other tarot readers. There are many others on YouTube, not just me. And one of them might have the information that you need. But going forward, let's see if you resonate with this. Home life, right? The thing that made you feel stable, it was in reverse, right? The thing that made you feel stable didn't turn out to be what you thought it was. Now, this could be like a job that made you feel stable. This could be the home that made you feel stable. This could be a partner or a new sweetheart that made you feel like this is the answer. This is what's going to make me feel like I'm safe. Give me that in the womb feeling, like I don't have to worry about anything because I'm all taken care of. Turns out it didn't work out, right? And then we had the Magician, which was in reverse. It was like, now it's time to do something, but I think you're thinking too hard about what it is that you're doing, what it is that you need to do next, and it's bringing a lot of anxiety because you're thinking so hard about it. So you're being encouraged to not be in control all the time about how everything's going to play out. You're like, I don't even know what I want. Well, then don't know what you want and just hold that feeling of safety in yourself and not have the safety, not have to be given the safety by someone else or by a work situation, right? So we're going to embrace feeling safe just in ourselves. We're going to embrace not feeling like we have to control how everything plays out in the near or long-term future. And we're going to embrace that it's okay to not know what's happening, okay? And then leaving behind a period of what you thought was stability, but actually wasn't. There was a lot of conflict. I've got a lot of conflict going on in your past, especially recent past. And there is still some internal conflict that's going on, but mostly it's around what it is that you want. You think you should know what you want. And when you should be embracing that you don't know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, you can't make a good decision, okay? It's okay if you just don't know and you just kind of float for a little while. That's what you're being told to do. Now, internally, oh, that feels so good. Sorry about that. Internally, I've got the internal landscape laid out here. Yeah, lots of internal conflict is going on for you. We got the 5 of Wands here. It's like, I want this. No, I want this. And I don't think that that's a set of external people fighting. I think it's all the different fractures of yourself. The little slivers of who you are in conflict. So there's a part of you that wants to just stay stable exactly where you are. There's a part of you that's like, no, I can't. I don't want to commit to anything. I want to be able to be adaptable and flexible. There's a part of you that's like, but I just want my mommy. And then there's a part of you that's that wants to go forward and experience so many wonderful, cool, good things. And then there's a part of you that's really scared. So there's all these things that are going on and it's really confusing for you. And then we've got the 6 of Swords is here saying that this is what led me to believe that there recently has been a lot of conflict that you've moved away from. Either someone else set boundaries for you. This could be a work situation where you were told like, this is it. We can't do this kind of struggle with you or with you between other people, or this could be in a relationship, but it's just like there was a lot of conflict and struggle, and then there's a transition where it's like somebody said that's it, and you're like, thank you. However, what's going to happen to me now? Okay. The Magician came up again in reverse, just like where we kicked this off. So once again, you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Okay. So there's all this like There's a relief. There's a relief that the struggle and the conflict is over. The stress of the struggle is done, but there's a worry about what to do next, about whether or not you're going to be okay. And then finally, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and I don't think this has anything to do with you. This is someone from outside of you, someone in your work environment, or someone that you're having a relationship with, and it's likely a Virgo energy. Doesn't have to be a Virgo placement exactly, but it could be a Virgo energy that's there. It's loving. It's a loving, nurturing kind of energy, but also it's a, like, you need to do something with yourself kind of energy. It's an energy that's kind of like looking down at you, a little bit of a, it's just like, it's loving and kind, but it's a little bit judgmental. Okay. So all that stuff is happening around you. I feel like you have a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure for you to feel like you're doing something going forward instead of just stagnating in anxiety over what's next. Here's something that the universe wants you to know before I go on to the further advice. The download that I got is the universe is saying you are always safe. You are always safe. Whether you choose to stay where you are, you will be safe. You may not be happy, but you will be safe. And if you choose to go forward into the scary unknown, it'll be scary, but you'll be safe. All right? It may not make you happy, but you'll be safe, right? You will always be okay. Nothing terrible. Whatever choice you make for yourself, you will always be safe. Okay, so moving forward into the advice that the cards have for you. We do have the Page of Pentacles, and it's like you gotta step forward. Even though you don't know what you're doing, you got to make some baby steps forward in the material realm. What can you do to make yourself more economically stable? What can you do to stabilize your physical health? I feel like there's some of you who are rebuilding. It's like the aftermath of a storm, and you're looking around and everything's a mess. And I feel like if you were going through a period of intoxication, whether that be like taking a substance abuse, or whether that being like intoxicated by a love affair, or intoxicated by a project that you were working on, like you were tuned out and a mess happened while you were doing that, and you're like looking around and you're like, I have to totally rebuild everything. So you're being encouraged to start with your health, your physical health, and your bank account health. Start putting things together now. The Four of Pentacles is here in your advice, saying that I see the coin over the chest is like keeping yourself from being emotionally vulnerable. And I feel like you're going to be benefited greatly by sharing what's going on in your heart, instead of covering it up and protecting yourself. Because there's a major energy here of you, and it's always been an issue of you being like, I'm in my head, I'm not in my heart, even though there are things going on in your heart. You're like, no, gotta stay here. But what's going on in here isn't important, but that's what's caused the mess, is you keeping that stuff bottled up. It caused a mess because you're acting out in other ways, right? So take that shield off of your chest and let your innermost emotions be known, even if you don't like them. And you could start with a journal. You don't have to bounce it off of another person if you're not comfortable with that yet. You can start just free writing in a journal about the emotions that you're feeling right now. And, I would just start with just one sentence written down in a notebook. I feel like this today. And then you can go through and explain why, if you want to, or you don't have to. Just like a springboard into emotional attunement. And adjusting into from emotional attunement to emotional expression. And I think the people that love you, the people that have to be around you, need you to be working on that. That's going to help you to sort out what it is that you want. That's a clue. Sorting out what you want by tuning into your emotions. Because I think you're too much in here, way too much in there. Okay. Now, you're wondering if in the aftermath of the mess, if things are over with the people that you went around with, right? The people that you had a lot of conflict with, a lot of issues with. Is it over? The card is saying no. The world card, meaning completion of cycles, is not the completion of a cycle yet. It's in the reverse. You're not done with each other yet, okay? For those of you who needed to hear that. And now finally we have the Eight of Swords coming up in the reverse. I feel like the Eight of Swords encapsulates the Aquarian kind of, I can't do that mental energy, being stuck in patterns. It's like it's trapping yourself. She's trapped herself. It's like she's holding her bindings back there, right? She set up these swords. She got in the middle. She wrapped herself up and she's like, I can't express myself emotionally. I can't get out of my comfort zone because I'm tied up. Look at me. I'm tied up. I can't do anything. But it's really just self-limiting beliefs that are keeping you from moving forward. And right now it's, I need to know what I want to do before I go forward. That's the place that stuck you. Before I go forward, I need to know exactly what I want. Before I try anything new, I need to know what's going to happen with it and if I even want to do that. And so the cards are like, you don't have to know what you're doing to step forward. You don't have to know what you're doing. Look at those, take a look at those self-limiting beliefs. There's so many resources on YouTube and elsewhere about exploring your self-limiting beliefs. Recently, I just read The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks, which talks about how 4 specific self-limiting beliefs that most of us have and how we will limit ourselves and create disasters for ourselves by being afraid to go forward, by limiting ourselves. Okay. So take a look at that. Those are your 4 pieces of advice, Aquarius. Let's get the affirmation that we need to close everything out for our closing prayer here. Okay. I'm surrounded by the love and support of my ancestors. You remember I was saying earlier, as scary as everything seems going forward, you are always safe. You are always protected. Okay. For those of you who resonate with the idea of ancestors looking out for you, that's what's there. Some of you might not resonate with you, but I feel like, you know, we have our spirit guides that are looking out for us. You could definitely be benefited by feeling the safety. Remember, you wanted the safety and security of knowing what was going to happen. You could be benefited in these challenging times of rebirth by attuning with your spirit animals, your light workers that are behind the scenes watching out for you, and your ancestors, so that you feel safe, so you feel looked out for, so you feel protected. You don't have to be in a relationship. You don't have to have a job. You don't even have to have a home in order to be safe and supported. Our physical environment is not an indication of our safety, because those can be taken away from us at any time. But what we always have is our connection to the spirit. And that will always help us feel safe and secure. Thank you, universe. Aquarius, this is where I close out. I love you, and I'll see you in a couple weeks. Bye. Wrong button.